we returned to our first love. We discovered prayer is not what we do before we begin our work. Prayer is our life's work. Prayer becomes what we live when we want to get hold of God, not just get hold of what we want. And real prayer isn't about changing God's mind, but about finding God's heart and letting His heart change our minds. Is this why God urges us to pray without ceasing? We need to pray without ceasing because it's the only way to live in communion. Without prayer, how can our life and His will have anything in common? Without prayer, we have no fellowship, no relationship, no worship. But when we choose to enter a life of prayer, Christ enters into our thoughts, takes captive every thought because we are most captivated with Him having first place in our hearts and hours and priorities, and the conversation never ends, and we have our heart's real desire, communion with Christ. I know of no better thermometer to your spiritual temperature than this, the measure of the intensity of your prayer, wrote Charles Spurgeon. And the relief is, none of us pray alone. Though you think no one is praying with you, the ultimate one is praying for you. The one who breathes stars breathes prayers for you. The one whose words spoke the world into being uses priceless words over your being. The one who made time, lives beyond time, controls all of time, uses all of His time to pray for you, because you are priceless to Him. Jesus is praying right now that the Spirit comforts you, strengthens you, anoints you with fresh oil of brave joy. Jesus is seeing us through, carrying us through, praying us through. And when we're struggling to pray, it's Jesus Himself who prays for all we're struggling with. There are arms that won't let you go. There are plans that won't abandon you. There are prayers that won't fail you. Jesus won't get off His knees until you are in His arms. Nothing makes you more fiercely brave than knowing Jesus is fiercely praying for you. Hard times don't need to understand what God is doing, like they need to know that God's standing with us and that He's kneeling in prayer for us at all times. The word-formed scriptural prayers of Jodie Berndt have led me into our Abba Father's heart on some of my very hardest days. When my spirit didn't know how to find words, the pages of Jodie's prayer books find the word itself, giving His own words to us, that we may pray them back to the Word Himself. Jodie has become a prayer companion for me, the gripping, word-saturated pages of her prayer books, reaching over and grabbing hold of my hand and holding me like a lifeline, tied to the heart of God. Books from Jodie's Praying the Scriptures series have become the gifts I give for all occasions, because there is no greater gift than praying on all occasions without ceasing. And there is nothing we need more than to learn how to become a prayer warrior instead of a panicked worrier. Worry is just the facade of taking action, when prayer really is. When I think of how prayer is always our most real work, our most meaningful act, I call to mind again the story of Abba Paul, that desert monk who wove baskets and prayers. And while other monks lived close enough to cities to sell their handiwork in the markets, Abba Paul lived such a distance that the cost of transportation would exceed any profits from selling the baskets. Nonetheless, each day he collected palm fronds and worked as faithfully as if basket-making was his primary means of support. And come the end of the year, when his cave overflowed with long months of toil, he took a torch to the work of his hands, and the flames devoured and rose higher and crackling long into the night. Then, come morning,